Hacking at the leaves of evil, there's one striking of the root. Find out how this quote from Thoreau can help lead to quantum improvements in your life. Good morning and welcome to Transform Your Life in 15 Minutes. My name is McADams. I'm an author. I'm also an accounting professor and a certified life coach. I specialize in personal and small business finance and also in fitness. I help people reach their goals. And welcome to Transform Your Life. Again, what we're going to be doing is 3 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And for the body, we're going to be doing a yoga routine. For the soul, we'll be doing a 5-minute guided meditation. But to start off with the mind, we're going to be talking about the 7 habits of highly effective people. Now, this is a book written by Dr. Covey. And this is one of the basic books where, again, it was broken into 3 parts. And we're just kind of very at the beginning. So if you're just now joining us, or joining me, I should say, then welcome. And I want to thank you for taking the time for watching this live broadcast. And also thank you for those that are watching the recording, just kind of taking the time out of your day to do this. Okay, so we are going to be talking about paradigm shifts. Now, we started off talking about principles, and then we, for the last couple of days, we've been talking about paradigms. So I talked about what paradigms are. I talked about the paradigm shifts. We defined them. We gave some examples. And then yesterday, we talked about the power of the paradigms. Well, today, we're going to be talking about the power of paradigm shifts. Now, paradigm shifts are like those aha experiences, right? It's from when you actually see a different point of view. Now, yesterday, I put up a picture, and I'll show it again. And this actually is a picture. Before I tell you what the picture is, let me just kind of give it for those of you that didn't get to see it. This is the picture right here. All right, and so this is basically the old lady. Let me go over here. There we go. Wait, what's going on my light? Okay, my light goes dark over here, so I think I better go over here. All right, so basically this is a picture of a old lady and a young lady. So the paradigm shifts occurs when you actually see the different point of view. Like for instance, let's say that when you first see this picture, you're able to point out the young lady. Okay, even let's say before, hopefully this, if you've never seen this before, I hope I didn't ruin it for you. But let's say that your first introduction to this, when you saw this picture, you were able to see the young lady. And then after I told you it was actually a picture of the old lady and the young lady, then you were able to see the old lady. Well, that aha moment is the time when you actually was able to change your point of view and see the other perspective, okay? And so that's what we're talking about with the paradigm shifts. Now I want you to understand, of course, vice versa with the old lady, if you saw that one first and then you were able to see the young lady. Well, 2 things on this. The first thing is I want you to understand that the longer that it takes for you to change your point of view, the bigger the aha moment. So like for instance, let's say, okay, I know she says that there's supposed to be 2 ladies, but I only can see one. The longer it takes for you to actually see the older lady, then that's going to be the bigger the aha moment. And the second thing I want you to understand with these paradigm shifts is it has nothing to do with facts, right? Because no matter which one you see, right? Let me kind of get a little closer because I know the light kind of makes it a little, shiny and reflective. But let's say that no matter which one you see, the old lady or the young lady, the fact of this picture is that it's black and white, right? So if you see the old lady, you can agree that the fact is this picture is a black and white picture. Well, if you see the young lady, you can also agree that the fact of the matter is the picture is black and white. So when we're talking about paradigms or paradigm shifts, we're not talking about facts, okay? But it's our interpretation of those facts, okay? That's what we're talking about. So today we're going to be talking about the power of the paradigm shifts. Now, the paradigm shifts actually moves us from one way of seeing the world to another way of seeing the world, okay? And of course, this is going to affect change in your life. Now, I want you to understand that, for example, I'll give you an example. The U.S. today is actually the fruit of a paradigm shift. Okay, what do I mean? Well, for centuries before, our government was based upon the concept of monarchy, right? But now we are in democracy. So we are ruling of the people, for the people, and by the people. Whereas before, there was a different point of view. All right. And then another example would be, let me grab me some water here. My voice is going crazy. Another example, and this is one of not a positive change, because I don't want you to think that all paradigm shifts are in the positive direction. Another paradigm shift that occurred for us was when we moved from the character ethics to the personality ethics. Now, if you don't understand that, you got to watch the previous recording on this Transfer Your Life, because I talked about that. But just kind of summarize that. Dr. Covey did some research, and for the first 150 years of our life, success was actually based upon character ethics. And then after World War I, we switched and changed and moved over to the personality ethics. Okay, so that was also a paradigm change as well. Now, regardless of whether or not, we're correct or not in our perception, understand that this actually lays the foundation of how we see things and also how we treat people. So it's our interaction with each other. And then, you may wonder, well, when does this occur? A lot of times these paradigm shifts occur when there's like a life-threatening crisis. Then all of a sudden we see our priorities in a different light. But these paradigm shifts can also occur when we change different roles, or come into a new role. For instance, let's say you get married. So now, now all of a sudden you're a husband or a wife, and you start to see things differently. Generally speaking, a lot of times when there's a new, when you're now becoming a parent or a grandparent, you also start to, change your perspective on things. Other examples is when you go, let's say, from a leader, from a manager to an actual leader. Okay, so these changes kind of occur in our lives, not spontaneously. Well, it would be spontaneously when we actually go into a new role. Now, I want you to understand is this: we can actually spend weeks, months, years laboring on the personality ethics of trying to change our attitudes and our behaviors, and not begin to approach the phenomena of change that occurs when we actually change our basic paradigms. Okay, so it's very, very important that you do this. Now, to summarize, because I'm trying to keep it short. I know it's Saturday, and I usually go a little longer Saturday, but I'm kind of trying to stay within integrity here. So in order to summarize this, I want you to understand this. When it comes to making change, when it comes to making minor changes in your life, we can do this by working on our behaviors and our attitude. But if you want to make major changes in your life, then begin to work on your paradigms. Or, in order to requote, or I should say paraphrase Thoreau, and if in order to make quantum improvements in your life, stop hacking at the leaves of behaviors and attitudes, and strike at the root of paradigms from which our attitudes and our behaviors flow. All right, so hopefully this was helpful for you guys, because remember, it's all about, making these transitions or different perspectives so that you can actually transform your life. So hopefully this was helpful in talking about the power of paradigm shifts, way of looking at things. And, like I always say, we all like to think that we're pretty much objective in the way that we do things. But if you really were to dig down deep and go internal, you find out that you're really not as objective as you think you are. But that's not a bad thing, because guess what? You can always choose to make a choice to change, right? And that's what the premise of this Transform Your Life is about. It's about making those small changes. They don't have to be big quantum changes. It's just little small things that you do over time that's going to make a difference. So I want you to, what is the good analogy, or the great analogy I love to use? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So how do you affect change or make change? One thing at a time. I still have my glasses on. That's unusual. I usually don't wear my glasses when I leave my office, this portion. But anyway, so I hope you guys are having a great Saturday morning. I know for some of you, it's early. Like if you're in the Pacific time, this is 6 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. So I want to especially thank you for taking the time to get up and watch this live. And even on the East Coast, if it's 9 o'clock, it's still Saturday, right? This is your day that you can actually sleep in. But again, thank you for joining me. So now we're going to move on to the yoga portion. We're just going to do like a 5-minute yoga routine. Just kind of get the body moving, get the blood flowing, and also make that mind-body connection. Okay, so go deeper inside. So understand that when we're doing yoga, like a lot of times we think of yoga as an exercise, which it is a form of exercise because it does work your full body. But it's more important than that. It's actually a mind-body connection. So I don't want you to just get into the poses. And this is a reminder, because repetition is good. But don't just get into the poses, just because, okay, she's saying do this, do this. Understand, I want you to feel your way through it, okay? So use your breath and really feel, what's happening inside. And specifically, you're looking for tension or tight areas, or negativity that you're going to feel in certain areas of your body. And I want you to use your breath to dispel those, okay? So just kind of surrender into the poses. Take your time getting into the poses. And let's say I'm doing something and, you want to modify it, feel free to modify. If you're brand new to yoga, then obviously it's not going to be so easy for you to modify because you don't know how to modify. So I'll give you some different options that you can actually do for the modification. And then immediately following this, we would go into a 5-minute guided meditation. So I invite you, particularly on a Saturday, right? Just do the meditation, right now. And then what I try to do is a little challenging because, again, the mind portion goes a little longer because there's talking involved. And as I told you, I was at a lecture, right? I'm a McADams professor. I love to talk. So I try to keep them short, but sometimes, you get on the roll and, I just want to, go with the flow. But I say that, why did I say that? See, then sometimes I lose my train of thought. But I say that to say, for the most part, the meditation is going to always be at the end. So if throughout your day you want to re-listen to this meditation, let's say that toward lunchtime or toward the early afternoon you start to feel stressful, then feel free to go back and listen to the meditation. In other words, you don't have to just do it one time a day. This 5-minute exercises, one each for mind, body, soul. This is just like an introduction. But this is something that you can use throughout the day, okay? Like you can re-listen to the mind portion, because a lot of times the first time that you hear things, see, I'm talking again, right? A lot of times the first time you hear things, it doesn't really sink in, or it may sink in, but it doesn't have the same effect. Because I mentioned that I actually read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People about 5 or 6 years ago. And then now I'm at a different mindset, so I'm rereading it as I'm, sharing it with you. And I see different perspective than even when I read it 5 years ago, okay? So the same thing, you want to listen to things over and over again. I know you're like, oh my God, how many times are you going to say that? But there's a reason why. If I'm saying something repeatedly, there is a reason why I'm doing it. And it's not, it's not spontaneous. It's actually, this is actually direct. Like, in other words, if I'm repeating it, I'm doing it on purpose. Okay, so enough talking. I know you guys are ready to get down with the yoga. And likewise, as I'm talking, I'm supposed to be getting to my music, right? It's really like only 2 clicks, but I like to talk. Anyway. So hopefully having a great Saturday. Make sure that you join me in with this yoga. Don't just watch me. This is not like a broadcast about watching. And by the way, guys, let me just say this, because once I get to the meditation, I kind of end it, and share this information with your friends, okay? Like, share this broadcast. And then also make sure, write me comments on there and do your little likes and that kind of stuff. Most of the times I'm hearing the comments on the outside, which means people are individually messaging me, and I appreciate those as well. But feel free to comment, and also please do share this information. Okay, I promise. Let's get to the yoga. You need a starting pose. You know what? Let's start in tabletop this time. Let's do some stretching of the lower back. So tabletop is basically on your hands and knees. Your palms are directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees are directly underneath your hips. And let's kind of stay there for a couple of deep breaths. All right, for real now. Let's get started. Your fingers are spread out nice and wide. Middle fingers facing to the front, thumbs are facing inward. Again, your palms are directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees are directly underneath your hip. I want you to take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down towards your chest, round through the spine, tuck your pelvic under into the cat. As you inhale, your head and chest comes forward, tailbone sticks out toward the back of the room. Relax your shoulders, press those pits down toward the mat. And as you exhale, round through the spine. Tuck the pelvic under. Let's do this a couple more times. As you inhale, just kind of take your time. Again, we're warming up the spine. Just get a feel of where you are this morning. See if you can locate any tight areas, any tension, any stress that you may be feeling, any negativity that's lingering in your body. Just kind of dispel those using your breath, particularly as you exhale. Just release them from your body. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Head and chest comes forward. Just kind of stick out your tailbone. This time as we exhale, I want you to curl your toes under, and let's take it to downward facing dog. And begin to pedal your legs. And again, it's really early, so we're using this as a warm-up. Just kind of get a feel of what your body is. And by the way, this whole 5 minutes is a warm-up, because generally speaking, as you're doing yoga or any type of exercise, you want to make sure that you're warming up your body. Okay, so if you need to stay a little longer, feel free to do that. Let's go ahead and just kind of rock our body side to side. Feeling the different stretch. Let's come up on the top of our toes. Roll down to the balls of your feet, all the way down to the heel. Pressing your chest towards your thighs and your knees. Let's do it again. Come up on your toes. This time I want you to step on your toes. I want you to lean your hips over toward the left, bending that left knee. Just really feeling that stretch. Just kind of take your time. You know, there's really no wrong or right way when it comes to these yoga poses. There are ways that you want to make sure that you actually do it so that you don't injure yourself and that you get the full benefits. All right, come up on the top of your toes again. This time we're going to take it over to the opposite side. The side that you're leaning on is the knee that you're actually bending. Come up on the toes, and then roll all the way down to the balls of your feet. To the heels. Let's go ahead and walk it in a little, not too much. Just give a gentle stretch. Let's go ahead and walk the fingertips back toward your toes. And let's kind of just forward fold, just kind of hang here for a moment. Again, as you inhale, just kind of hold your position. As you exhale, just surrender to the stretch. Hinging from your hip rise, the knees are micro bends, soft bends in the knees. Matter of fact, lift your kneecaps to engage the quadriceps. Get a deeper stretch on those hamstrings. And again, as you inhale, just kind of hold your position. And it's when you exhale as you release into the stretch. Let the crown of your head bring your body weight naturally forward. Now let's inhale, come up halfway. Flatten out the back, your back. And as you exhale, forward fold. Now slowly go ahead and round it up. Take it one vertebrae at a time. Make sure that your head is last to rise. Draw your shoulders down and back. Let's come to mountain pose. Go ahead and spread out your toes nice and wide. My feet are about hip distance apart, but you can bring your feet together. I'm kind of knocking these, so I usually bring my feet about hip distance apart. Let's go ahead and bring your palms together at the heart center, and just kind of ground yourself here in this mountain pose. Just a couple of deep breaths here. All right, go ahead and release your hands down by the side. Let's take a deep breath. This time we're going to take the arms up overhead. And as we exhale, we're going to dive the body forward. You're going to inchworm yourself out to the plank as you inhale. And as you exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Walking your fingertips back. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, dive the body forward. Inchworm, walk it out to the plank. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Walk the fingertips back down. Inhale, take it all the way up. Just kind of arch back as you start to warm up. Exhale, dive the body forward. Walk it out to the plank. And take it back. Fingertips go back to the toes. Remember, make sure you go through the forward fold. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, dive the body forward. We'll walk it out to the plank. And take it back. Let's do this one more time. Inhale, take it all the way up. Exhale, dive the body forward. Walk it out to the plank. Let's go ahead and hold the plank for a couple breaths. Head is natural extension of the spine, so you're not trying to strain and look at the screen. From here, you can release your knees, chest, or chin, or chaturanga dandasana. And then we're going to inhale to upward facing dog. Hi. And then curl the toes under and exhale to downward facing dog. Let's hold it here and pedal the legs. Now, downward facing dog is a resting position, so whenever we're in this pose, it's actually resting. If it's too much strain or stress, to modify, different things you can do. You can do a wide-legged downward facing dog. You can drop your knees and go back to tabletop. You can also take it all the way down to child's pose. All right, both heels down. Bring that right knee in towards your chest and extend that right leg all the way back. Pressing your chest toward that left thigh and knee. Now go ahead and bend that right leg and open up the hip. Nice deep ujjayi breaths. Remember, lift that kneecap to engage the quadricep. All right, let's extend that right leg. Bring that right foot toward the fingertips. And let's take it up to the high lunge. Relax the shoulders, palms are facing each other. Head is in alignment with your bicep. To modify, you can bring your hands together at heart center. Drop down a little lower as you exhale. Remember, surrender to the pose. Let's go ahead and bring our palms together at the heart center and rotate over toward the right, and then exhale, hinge forward from the hip. Now make sure that you're pressing your palms together to lift your chest. You're not resting on your thigh. Now go ahead and release the left fingertips down toward the mat. Right arm goes up. Your gaze follows your thumb. Relax that shoulder. Press those hips down toward the mat. Continue to breathe. All right, go ahead and bring both palms down flat. Take that right foot back to the plank, and let's go to downward facing dog as we exhale. Inhale, take it to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's go ahead and release our knees down, uncurl the toes, and take it back to child's pose. Just give me a couple breaths here. Now go ahead and curl your toes under. Let's take the downward facing dog. Bend the knees down toward the mat. And as you exhale, extend those legs. Tailbone sticks all the way back to the back of the room. Again, inhale, bring the knees down toward the mat. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Let's go ahead and walk the fingertips back toward the toes. Let's do another round here. Inhale, take it all the way up. Arch back. Exhale, forward fold. Look up halfway. Flatten out the palms. Walk your fingertips out to the plank. Hold the plank for a couple deep breaths. Remember, take your time if you need to modify it. Release your knees down to the mat and do a modified plank. From here, release your knee, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to upward facing dog. And then curl the toes under. And exhale to downward facing dog. Now bring that opposite knee in towards your chest and extend that leg all the way back. Remember, you're pressing your chest toward the thigh and the knee, lifting that kneecap to engage the quadricep. Bend the leg, open up the hip, and go inside. Use your breath. Where are you tight? Where is there tension? Direct your breath to those areas. Now extend the leg straight up, and then bring it forward toward the fingertips. And let's take it up to the high lunge. Relax those shoulders. Palms are facing up, forward. Your head is up toward the sky, and you're breathing nice, deep ujjayi breaths. Now bring the palms together at the heart center and rotate. Remember, lift up the chest. Squeeze those palms together. Go ahead and release the fingertips down toward the mat. Opposite arm goes straight up. Now the tendency is to lift the hips, okay? Keep that front knee bent, 90 degrees. Keep that back leg extended. If it's too much strain and stress on your neck, feel free to look forward or to look down. Now go ahead and bring the palms down. Take it back to downward facing dog. Plank. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now go ahead and begin to walk your feet in towards your palms. And just forward fold. Clasp your hands at the elbows. Just kind of sway your body side to side. Release the fingertips down to the mat. Slowly round it up. Taking it one vertebrae at a time. Always making sure that your head is the last to rise. Rotate the shoulders down and back. Mountain pose. Deep breath. Inhaling, arms go overhead. Exhale, guide the body forward. Place the palms flat. Step your feet out wide at an angle, and then drop your hips down toward the mat. Tailbone down. Using your elbows and the outer thighs to press them out. Palms go together at the heart center and bow your head. Remember, deep ujjayi breaths. Great time to give some gratitude, some thanks, put some intentions for today. And then go ahead and release the palms down. Then transition your hand to the back. Bring your body to a comfortable seated position, facing to the front. Make sure that you're on your sit bones and not the fleshy part of your bottom. Sit up nice and tall so that your chest is lifted, has a natural extension of your spine. Fingertips are down toward the mat. Take a nice deep breath. Inhaling, bring the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, relax. Take the fingertips down toward the mat. Again, inhale, arms come up, overhead. And exhale. Final time, nice deep breath, inhaling. This time we're going to greet the palms together at the very top. Exhale down through the center. Bring your palms at the heart center. And namaste. Alright, so this brings us to the meditation portion. So you're already in a nice comfortable seated position. Just kind of get a feel of your body. For those of you that are tuning in, you may be sitting in a chair. If that's the case, make sure that you plant your feet flat on the floor. Again, if you do have shoes on, take your shoes off. You want to make sure that you're grounded. Just kind of get comfortable in your seated position. Kind of relax. And then take a nice deep breath. Inhaling through your nose. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your chin down toward your chest and go ahead and close your eyes. Now, on your next inhalation, I want you to bring your head and chest all the way up toward the sky. Eyes are still closed. And as you exhale, release your chin down toward your chest. Again, as you inhale, your head and chest go up. And as you exhale, release your chin down toward your chest. One more time, take a nice deep ujjayi breath. As you inhale, your belly is going to expand, the chest is going to rise, eyes are still closed, head goes up. And this time as you exhale, just bring your head forward, natural extension of your spine, and continue to breathe. It's time to relax the body. I want you to draw your attention to your feet. I want you to squish your feet up really, really tight as you inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and release. Release all the tension and stress out of your feet. Same thing for the ankles. Relax the ankle. Relax your calves. Relax your knees. Relax your thighs. As the thoughts come into your mind, just kind of gently push them aside. Just really focus on your breath and relaxing your body. Relax your buttocks. And relax your pelvic area. I want you to direct your attention to your lower back. As you inhale, just notice any tension or stress that you may feel in that area. And then as you exhale, I want you to release all the tension and stress that you may feel in your back. You're doing good. Keep breathing. Now let's move up to the shoulders. Go ahead and squeeze your shoulders, hunch them up really tight, bring them up toward the ears, and then release. Again, if you have any lingering thoughts in your mind, just kind of gently push them aside. Just continue to focus on your breath, focus on relaxing your body. Now draw your attention to your neck and your jaw. Go ahead and relax those. And then finally relax your head, the top of your head. I want to draw your attention one more time to the shoulders. Go ahead and hunch those shoulders. And then release. Release any remaining tension that you hold in your body. Nice deep ujjayi breaths. Just continue to focus on your breath for just a moment. Your body is now relaxed. You're doing good. Continue to breathe. Now go ahead and take a nice deep breath for me. Inhaling through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Again, take a nice deep breath. Inhaling through your nose. Take it nice and slow. And exhale. One more time, take a nice deep breath, inhaling nice and slow. And exhale. Now go ahead and open up your eyes as you release, relax, return, refreshed, and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want to thank you for taking the time to meditate with me, and thank you for taking the time to watch this transform your life in 15 minutes. Your word for today is giving. So I want you to have a giving day today. So I want you to give of yourself. I want you to give of your time, give a smile, give a compliment. Have a very giving day. And I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye. Doesn't want to end out. Let's try this again.